Hey guys, how's it going? My name is always, and welcome back to Sky Factory 3. In the last episode, we were working on refined storage and trying to get the auto crafting set up to work. And, well, I was mistaken in my thinking. So refined storage it has a lot of similarities to Applied Logistics 1 in the sense that the cables don't require channels. However, the auto crafting setup is a little bit more similar to Applied Logistics 2, where the crafter is pretty much all you need. There is not like a big multi-block structure that you need to make. I was confused by these storage blocks, and I just got done looking it up. And what these guys are basically same thing as storage disks. So essentially, if you don't want to make a whole bunch of disk drives and all the disks, you can make these storage blocks, and they will work the same way. I'm going to assume that these are a little bit cheaper, just because they all require the storage part. These require a basic processor and a machine casing, which is just some quartz, whereas these require a little bit of redstone and glass plus the quartz, plus you need to have the disk drive. So that is probably, yeah, that requires some advanced processors, and it's a little bit more expensive on the quartz. So yeah, in the long run, the structure is the storage blocks are cheaper, but at the same time, actually not really. It kind of balances out, and so it's just a matter of, do you have space or do you want to make the disks and the disk drives? So we're probably going to just make the disk drives because I like those better. But yeah, the only thing we need for auto crafting is the crafter itself, and plenty of patterns. There's a whole bunch of stuff we can do with it. So these are similar to like the interfaces. These are similar to the molecular assemblers in Applied Logistics 2. And interface sort of when you attach it to a machine. They're a little bit smarter than the molecular assembler, so it's kind of cool. But we were working on that, as well as we went to the Nether and tried to get some more chickens. Which, speaking of chickens, we have a purple one now. He's sitting right over there. And we have anything else yet? We have the light blue. So I think what I want to do today, so there's a couple things that I want to do. First of all, we are going to collect these chickens, and we're just going to put them all in here. And we'll get back to chickens later. And that looks cool. We really need to get some of the nether chickens to spawn, as well as we kind of need to get access to more colors of chickens. So the yellow chickens and all that kind of stuff. So what I'm going to want to do is make a clipboard. And this is what we're going to do right off the bat. So clipboard should not be too expensive. Let's come in here. One, I made a whole bunch of patterns, so we can store those in there. So we're going to need a wooden pressure plate. That's easy enough. And everything else, we just need an ink sac. That might be an issue. Does it have to be... Okay, it can be any black dye. That is less of an issue. So I just have to remember if we have any black dye lying around. But yeah, so today we're going to start working on a couple of different things. One of the big things that I want to start working on... Oh, I know I have some black dye somewhere. What all is considered black dye? So, actually, additions, Britannia. That's it. Alright, well, I guess we need to find a black lotus. Do I have no ink sacs? How about... I guess we're gonna have to use that floral flower petal. Mystical black flower. That's fine. Let's grab our shears. We're going to grow a few more of these guys, just because that makes sense to me. And we're going to need some bone meal for that. Not a problem. We have plenty of bones. I'm in the wrong crafting grid. I need to kind of separate those, I think, because I'm going to do that a lot if I don't. So let's grab a piece of dirt. And for the time being, we'll just put this right here. Plant, grow, shear, get some more petals. And I think that's enough for now. So we're going to use one of these guys to get the black dye, basically. And I've just got to figure out... Oh, I have it on me. Pestle and mortar. Excuse me. And there we go. So we can make the clipboard now, which is kind of awesome. Why do we want to make a clipboard? Well, it's going to allow me... I love the clipboard. This is... Okay, so in older versions, clipboard was part of the Bibliocraft mod. Whether it still is or not, I'm not entirely sure in these versions, the newer versions of Minecraft. So what are we in? This is 1.10, and then 1.12. I don't know for sure. Haven't really looked at it, but the clipboard is kind of amazing because it allows you to basically say bone white chicken. And kind of check mark it if you need to or whatever, and there's like basically infinite pages. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend some time between episodes and I'm going to write down every single chicken. And what we're going to do is this clipboard will have all the chickens available, and when we have the ones we want, we will mark it off and go from there. So basically it'll help us kind of organize what chickens we have, what chickens we need to make, and all that kind of fun stuff. So that's the plan with that. I want to do that real quick, and that was scary. So with that out of the way, I want to head into the Nether. So there's like 3 things I want to do today, and one of the biggest ones is I want to start working on flight. But before we do that, I want to see if anything is spawned on the spawning platform I made. So I made a nice big spawning platform with a fence gate. Now the problem we're going to have is there is a fortress right over there, which is not like, that is kind of nice to have one so close, but it's going to reduce the spawns here. So we're going to get some pigmen, but probably not much else over here. From what I've seen, what I've read, the chickens that will spawn in here will just kind of spawn. It just might take some time depending on how much stuff is in the area. But we're going to use these pigmen a little bit later, so we'll come back to this. I just kind of want to show that off. But we need to upgrade our sword, and that is not going to be fun because Manulin is really difficult to get at this point. But there is a nice easy way to get it, and of course I want Manulin swords because those are usually the best. So let's take all of these loot bags that we can, and we're going to upgrade as many of these as we can to as high as we can. And the reason being, this will allow us to potentially get Manulin. I don't think we have enough. And there's another uncommon. And that's all we can do. Alright, so not quite there. Now if we look at the uses for this bag, we can get cobalt, which would be good. But not really much else. So I think we'll come back and we'll wait on this for a little bit. I want to see if we have... I don't think we have any other loot bags, so we're going to just put all of these in here. And we'll come back to that in a little bit and see, well, if we have any more. Because what we want to do is we want to open the top tier loot bag. So if we can get some more epics, we can get a legendary. The legendaries give us a chance of getting Manulin straight out. And that would probably be the best thing ever. Otherwise, we can open some of the other ones and hope for the best. The epics can give us cobalt, and ardite, which we have a little bit of both, but don't think they're particularly useful for us. So yeah, we'll come back. Oh, hey, that will give us one more epic. Do we go for it? Let's see, uses. I think we're gonna go for it. Damn it, nope. Oh well. So there is a lot of things we can do to kind of help with this stuff. But unfortunately, like, we just need a little bit more cobalt, and we can get to the 2 ingots of manulin that we need. So let's go ahead and open the other one. I'm gonna be risky. Nope. Dang it. Alright, well, whatever. So that's unfortunately not going to work out for us. Do we have any steel? Not in there anyways. Okay, so let's just move on to some other stuff. What we can also work on, I have some netherrack, and we can actually just hammer this stuff and hope. I did that a little bit, but it's a very rare chance to get cobalt or ardite. So I don't anticipate this working, but we can at least try. So we'll kind of keep an eye on this. And the reason I want a manulin sword is so that we can go into the nether, kill pigmen, and get experience. Because this flint, stiffen mesh, the next one is going to be an efficiency 4. And it might have fortune, it might not. If it doesn't, we'll deal with it later. So I think everything's done. Don't see any cobalt. We got a piece of ardite, which is not bad. I mean, it's a 2% chance, so it's really rare anyways, but not what we wanted. Alright, so let's go ahead and start working on the jetpacks. This is what I really wanted to do today, and the reason is it's going to help me build. By having a jetpack, we can kind of not have to worry about, well, avoid it as much, and we're going to try to make it as top tier as we can. Now, we can't really make it any farther past this vibrant jetpack. The Dark Solarium jet plate is really nice, don't get me wrong, but to make it is a little bit difficult because of the boosters. We need flight control units, which require bats. Everything else should not be as bad. So let's start with tier 1. We're going to need some leather. And the only thing that I'm kind of worried about is copper. So what we're going to do is, just for the time being, we're going to throw a flint mesh in here. Now, iron is getting gravel is being sifted by like 3 times, 3 different things. And so that is kind of what we want, but oh my gosh, we have a lot of iron. Good bit of redstone. We're gonna need a little bit of gold, I think, and some glowstone. Okay, cool. This is working pretty well. So these guys aren't gonna go anywhere because we need to have filters. So copper and aluminum, and then I'll manually get this guy done for right now. All right, cool. So with that taken care of, let's go ahead and start making these. You know, do we have another? We'll just put it in here. Let's put all this stuff in here. So let's go ahead and start making these jetpacks. So first of all, we're gonna need a lot of conductive iron. Let's see, we're gonna need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're gonna need 8 conductive iron. So let's grab that and get that cooking. And alloy mode. You know what? Let's pick up some of the stuff. we're going to want capacitors for these guys at some point. But for right now, let's not worry about it too much. We don't have any capacitors anyway, so we're going to need 1, 2, 3, we're going to need 5 basic capacitors. And you know what, let's go ahead and teach the system how to make that. And I think it would also be smart to teach the system how to make gold. Gold nuggets anyways. So we put all those in there, and let's make 10 capacitors. Can we do that? No, we're missing a lot of redstone and a lot of copper. And that's kind of the problem. We don't have much copper for right now. So let's take the redstone out. We have a little bit more copper. That is plenty of redstone, by the way. So we just need a little bit more copper. I don't know how soon we'll get that, but hopefully sooner rather than later. This is such a mess. We need to get that into the system at some point too. So a lot of work to do. It really is, but we'll get there. So I guess let's just go ahead and make capacitors times 5. We can do that pretty easily. And let's see, we need a couple different things. We need conduit binder, which I believe we have some in here. We do, but not that much. So this stuff is made from clay, gravel, and sand. Alright, well... Oh man, this is a lot of different things that we're going to have to do. So we have a little bit more. So we don't need to do that right quite yet. So let's go ahead and throw that stuff in there. And let's see, we can make the leather strap. I'm using the wrong thing again. I think we're going to move that right now. Will it attach without a wire? Can we put it right here? Yeah, okay, cool. It just has to be in contact. That is perfect. Okay. So anyways, we have the leather strap. We just need the 2 conduits. So we're going to need a bunch of basic gears. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Because we need 2 of these guys. We're going to need redstone conduit. So we're going to need some redstone. 1, 2, 3. And silicon. 3 of these. And what I want to do is once this guy is done, we're going to break this. And we're going to grab a different... we're going to move it, rather. Okay, everything's processing. We have more copper. We have a ton of resources. It's actually really nice. We just need to get more... This flint stiffened mesh is going to be important to kind of get more stuff. But let's... You know, do we have any boots lying around? I have a chest plate. Not anything in there. Let's see if we have any boots in here. I don't think we do. And grab all those loot bags. Move those over because, well, that's a smart thing to do. And one of these days we'll fix this sooner rather than later, I think, so that we can start automating all the loot drops and whatnot, because that is going to be a lot of stuff. Anyways, I want to move this guy. And for right now, we're just going to put him right here. Alloy mode. 3 of those. And I want to just configure all the sides so that's none. That way he kind of gets more power. And it will just be better off. So let's make... How much copper do we have? We have 3. I guess let's make... it is Control-Shift-Click. I'm going to have to get used to that. It is a different button combination to automatically craft if you have stuff in the inventory. So that's going to be something we're going to have to get used to. What else can we do? We're going to need to automate a lot more stuff with this. And the the biggest thing we're going to have to automate with this is the storage disks. We're going to probably want to eventually get up to 16K, or 64K rather, but that's going to require a lot of redstone, which, do we have? I don't want to use garden cloches, never mind. We'll automate gardens sooner rather than later as well. We need to get a lot of stuff. Redstone seeds are going to be super important, but I wanted to see, is this stuff... Okay, that is automatically... Okay, so that should not be too hard to automate. We're going to have to make some more machines and all that kind of fun stuff, but really shouldn't be too bad. So anyways, let's go ahead, make that, and then we should be able to make our tier 1 jetpack, the conduit, or the conductive iron. So we're going to need 2 of these guys. 1, 2, and there we go. Conductive iron jetpack. Now, in order to charge it up, we just put it in here, and then we just equipped it onto our back, and we can fly. It's literally that easy. So it is terrible. What is the button for switching modes? Toggle hover mode is in. Okay. And hover mode kind of keeps you floating, but it's kind of terrible. As you can see, it drops you pretty quickly. So it's not really something we're going to want to use all that often at this point, but it is a jetpack, and I guess that's what matters. So electrical steel, we do have some steel. Do we want to make a steel sword? We can always replace it. Let's make a steel sword and make some things a little bit nicer. So I want to try to get the next tier of jetpack before we do anything else. And in order to get the electrical steel, we're going to need... Ooh, machine chassis. We're going to need like a bunch of these. So let's go ahead and make... We're going to need 4 of these. 1, 2, 3, and more capacitors. Okay. So that is going to be the biggest thing right now, is getting a lot of capacitors, which just is going to require more copper. That's the main thing that we're going to need. Now we're also going to need to make some electrical steel. We're going to need 8 electrical steel as well. So that is not as bad as before. Electrical steel is coal dust, iron, and silicon, and we have a little bit of it from our guys over here. Do we have any more in here? Actually, don't know. We have some iron, we have some more silicon if we need it, and we have coal. So let's go ahead and get this going. But we do need to make coal dust, and we don't have that many machines. So let's go ahead, and we're gonna need a good bit of this. This is going to be pretty slow. Eventually we will get this upgraded with capacitors, but that'll take a little bit of time. The higher tier capacitors that we get, the better off we're going to be. There's 5, 6, and 8. Okay, well, that's fine. Hey, an Enderman. Let's kill it. Actually, let's go ahead and smelt up some steel. And we're going to need a sword blade. We have a pickaxe head. We're going to need a sword blade, so we're going to need some gold as well as a sword blade to actually cast. And Enderman should be gone. So we're going to take 6. 6, and there's 2. And I think it's in here. Yeah, we have a bunch of silicon. It's not too bad. This stuff is pretty easy to make anyways. Eventually we'll have chickens and stuff, but just sag milling sand is good enough. So that will kind of do its thing. We're going to need another capacitor. And there's those. So then we're going to need 5 more capacitors. which we need 1 more copper for. Okay, that's not terrible. We'll get there. And everything else should be pretty straightforward. And I think we're going to stop at the tier 2 for today, just until we can get more stuff. Once I get the levels up to level 30, we can make the flint mesh a little bit better. And we need to sleep just because we are using solar panels as our only power source. So if it's not day, those aren't working. And this guy will drain pretty rapidly. Otherwise, he'll be fine, but if it's not day, he'll be gone pretty quickly. So let's make 8 capacitors. Okay, can we do 5? We certainly can. Okay. So we're going to need energy conduits, which I think we have. I have enhanced energy conduits, so we're going to need to make... Oops, wrong one. We're going to need to make some of these. So we need some redstone, 1, 2, 3, and iron. And eventually we'll have a lot of this stuff on autocraft. It's just going to take some time. Speaking of taking time, that's going to take a lot of time. It's relatively slow, but we're almost there to the next tier of jetpack. So let's take a look at over here. I should have a good bit of Infernium essence. We have plenty of cakes if we want more food. Let's take this as well. Okay, so we have a rare... What can this be used for? A lot of different things, including energetic alloy, which is nice. But for right now, that's not really important. Okay. Let's go ahead and make the conductive iron. Put that away. We'll put that in there. And we're going to put all of this in here. So we should probably look at the achievement book because we did get an achievement. We have... where is it? We flew. We have technically flown. We have a jetpack, so we can fly. That is not an issue at all. Haven't made a Matic yet. Or done a lot of the stuff. We kind of... Once I have the stable flight, it's not creative flight, which is what I usually prefer to go for. I like going for creative flight as early as possible. It's not that, but with halfway decent flight, better than the first tier, probably up to the 4th tier, we can kind of just, well, build a lot easier because I don't really need to, like, I can put basements and stuff on stuff a lot easier. I can build downwards much simpler, and just kind of all in all, it will be easier for me. So that's kind of why I'm doing this. And then once we are ready to build more and more and more, we can kind of expand the farm, start automating things with plugs and whatnot. We're getting a good bit of that stuff. That is awesome. The redstone, so that we can make the flux plugs and connectors and all that kind of stuff a lot easier. And it's just going to be a matter of kind of ramping up production of everything. And so the energetic jetpack requires tier 2. Pulsating crystals aren't bad, but we're going to need a lot of ender pearls and a lot of other things. So I will start working on getting a good bit of energetic alloy. That is easy enough. It's just redstone, gold, and glowstone. But we have a jetpack that is a lot better. And boots. Slime boots. That is actually a good idea. Okay, so let's put that in there. And yeah, as you can see, the hover is so much better. Alright, so let's grab some... Okay, we have most of the stuff that I want. Alright, did I put the flint mesh away? I swear I've lost flint meshes. Okay. Oh no, I put it in. That's right. I put it in the system. I put it into the auto sifters. Okay, so let's go to the Nether, and we're gonna hope. Actually, we need to make the sword. So I think it's C. What is? Apologies for showing the controls again. Toggle imp. Okay, comma. We want to turn the jetpack off right now because I don't need it. And let's go ahead. And we're going to need to make a sword. I don't have any cobblestone on me. Why do I not have any cobblestone on me? That's weird. Anyways, we're going to make a sword. We're going to need a little bit of gold, which we have plenty of. And what we're going to do is we're going to cast out a steel sword. It's just going to take a second, and while we're kind of here, let's go grab a chest, because I don't want to lose everything. I mean, theoretically, this mod has some sort of gravestone, but we're going to keep that on us. We don't want to put any of this stuff at risk. And the clipboard. So that will be fine. Alright, let's go ahead. Cast this out. How are you doing? It's full. I take all the gunpowder out, and the glowstone, and the gold. Wow, there's so much gold. Alright, so that's done. We'll cast that out. Let's go ahead and put like all of the stuff into the system that can fit. And we're now full. Okay, that's fine. Alright, we have a handful of Endermen now. 3 Endermen it looks like. But we have a new sword blade. So killing these guys should be a lot easier. So let's go ahead and replace this. And now we have a steel broadsword. Much better. Does a lot more damage. So, Enderman number 1. That was rude. Stop running away from me. I want to kill you. Let's turn our jet... Oh my god. No, stop it. Wait, where did he... Okay, he went to the void. Well, that's a bummer. Anyways, there's 2 more down below. They're going to like down below a little bit more. Because it's dark. And there we go. What does this have? Sharp. Oh, I think that modifier causes, like, bleeding. So basically, I want to look at this. Sharp. Hitting an enemy leaves them bleeding for a short time, so they take a little bit more damage over time. That's kind of nice. Alright, last thing to do today is let's go to the Nether and see if we can't find a chicken. Otherwise, we can level up from Pigmen or whatever else we want to use. So there is a good number of Pigmen over there. But I want to turn hover mode back on. Now hover mode does use more power, but we can fly over here. There are a lot of blazes. I'm gonna get away. But that allowed a lot of things to spawn over here. Nitro creepers, which are terrible. Please walk off the edge. And the jetpack has a tendency to kind of mess up. And these guys will explode very quickly. He's still trying to get to me. and that's fine. We can get a lot of stuff from all these guys. And I do want to try not to hit... yeah, I don't want to hit the pigmen, if possible. But at the same time, it's not necessarily a bad thing if we're in here. Do we dare? It would clear out things. It just might make things a little bit dangerous. But yeah, so this is a valid way. Uh-oh. And they're mad. Alright, well that's fine. We can kill all these guys from the safety of our little cage. And that's going to give us a lot of experience, which is why I wanted a steel sword. So we just got to clear all these guys out, and then they'll forget about us. Hopefully. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So we just kill all these guys. Oh my god, it's so loud. I turned it down a little bit. But yeah, we just kill all these guys and grab all the goodies. And they'll probably keep spawning, to be honest. Ow. Uh-oh. Well, we're dead. We were slain by a zombie pigman. Alright, well that's not good. Whoops. So gas are still an issue. You're not mad at me. We lost all of our levels. Great. Anyways, you know what? I'm gonna go get my stuff, and I think I'm going to call the episode here. So yeah, next time we are going to continue working with both jetpacks as well as getting more chickens and whatever else we can find to do. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I will see you guys in the next episode. Bye!